My first wife, Lenore, when I came home and she presented me, she said, "I hope you don't mind, but I got a dog." So I didn't mind because I love dogs. I'm very fond of animals. I've always been, as far as having animals, it's always been a cat rather than a dog. Because dogs are, you know, it's like having a child. So there was this sweet little beagle that she presented me with, and we named him Chops. And the first thing he did was to eat a pair of sneakers of mine. But when we moved to Chicago, we couldn't take the dog. It would have been too difficult because we didn't have a place to live to begin with and everything. You know, I went there for, you know, for Danby. So we were trying to find a home for the dog, and mentioned it to Jackie, and Jackie said, you know, it's not like a dog, you know. So they took Chops, and they lived in Queens. And then there was something, I don't know what it was, but they had to, again, poor Chops, they had to give him away. They gave him to friends who lived in Connecticut. And then what happened was, you've heard stories like that. It's not unique, but it's rare. One fine day, Chops showed up in Queens. He found his way from Connecticut back to, so then of course they had to keep him. After that. So Jackie, you know, I had occasion to write about Jackie not that long ago, a couple of years ago, when I was asked to do liner notes for a live recording from San Francisco, from what's his name's place.
Keystone Corner?
Yeah. And it was Jackie and Tommy Flanagan together. And Tommy's another one that we should talk about. But they're very different, but they worked very well together. And it was nice to have an occasion to write about them. But like I said, Jackie was, you know, he was a great stride player, and he would sometimes do this in the middle of an otherwise, you know, contemporary thing. He would break into stride, and inevitably the audience, when there was a modern-minded audience, they would cheer, they would break in, because stride has something, you know, that will get to people. It just gets to them. So that was part of his Fatswala heritage. He was, for a while, he was teaching somewhere, if Jackie was, which he would have been very good at. And then, for a while, you know, musicians have to take gigs sometimes that are not ideal. He worked for a while at a place, I think it was in the Village. I'd never been there, but I heard about it. It was at 181 something, but it was known in the trade as 181 with ATE. But it was a for people of a certain sexual persuasion, and that's where Jackie played solo piano at the 181. Like I said, you know, you have to take a gig. You know, a gig is a gig,
yeah,
as long as they pay you.
yes. All right.
So Jackie's another, you know, one who left us too soon, and who actually was not sufficiently recognized. he was recognized among musicians and the serious listeners, but not by the public. Is that me?
That's you.